We're live.
We're live. Are you sure, Javi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we late?
Couple minutes.
Couple minutes. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Anywho, we're here. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. You know what we're going to do today? Oh, Cindy's here. Susie B. Hey, you're the first one here today. How'd that happen, huh, Susie B? You must have been sitting there waiting for me. Hi, Deborah Long. Hi, Cindy Baker. Javier Perry. She better be here. Maureen Baranoff. Karen Eaton. Maria Danko.
I was telling them we would be shortly on.
You're going to be short. Okay.
We're going to be on short.
Wow, you guys should have seen the jewelry Javi was sporting around this morning. She is doing her wire stuff. She made Donna a new piece that was gorgeous. And then our friend Dawn was wearing a piece. The whole Kingdom Hall's full of Javi's jewelry. People wearing it. Anyways, I need to get a pair of Javi jewelry. I don't believe Javi has ever made her Aunt Brenda a piece of jewelry yet.
I made the earrings, but that's it.
Oh, did you? That's true. I'll correct that. She made me a pair of earrings.
Necklace.
Yes, you should. And then I can talk about it more.
Okay.
See? Jerry Ann's here. Mary McMahon. Franny's in the house. Debbie Nicholas. Holly Anderson. Pat Counts. Pat Jones. Lori Wooten again. Cassandra Wood. Beverly Hickman. Barbara Kelly. Woohoo! Hey, Barbara, you're going to recognize some of this loot today. You were there. Let's see. Marcia. Yes, our new challenge features 1928 composers. There's Claire Nemeth. Betty Strongman, Donna Hurwitz. Yes, what beautiful. Whoa, we got a good lineup coming. I'll tell you what, I think today is going to be a really special day because I don't have to show you how to do anything. Which I get to just talk about something I love. And as you know, I'm working on this book and we're getting there. And I had to take all this stuff out because, you know, we're going to start doing the photo and the antique stuff. And I thought, well, shoot. Why don't we just get together and talk about it? I'm sure you'll like to know because, you know, here's the thing with vintage jewelry. Very rarely do they know the whole story behind a piece. You know, you see this, you see that. You don't know who really made it, who designed it. You know, hey, Deborah Bolduc, or Bolduc, how you say it? Deborah, I know she speaks French too. Anyways. Very little, you know, usually don't know much about the background of it, but because 1928 Jewelry Company is still in business, and there are a number of people over at the factory who've worked there since they were teenagers, so they were there from the beginning, and they know about this stuff, and so when I find it, you know, I can shoot Mel a picture, and if he doesn't know, they do, often. So that's why we got to have all those reprise pieces a year or two ago. Because pieces were found. In fact, a lot of the pieces were in Ingrid Anderson's collection. And I'll give you a big for instance. How many of you guys got one of these? Well, probably only about 20 or 30 of you, I guess. This is a very, very special magnifying glass. They do not make very many of them. Ingrid's original one was in this dark rose gold. And she happened to show it to us one day online, and I'm like, oh, wow. So I asked Milk, hey, can we do that? And he says, yeah, we can still do that. And I'm like, okay, so I put the word out there, do you guys want to get them? And yes, you did. So we sold them on my Facebook personal page. But, you know, I'm not allowed to do that anymore because it's against their terms of service, always has been, but you're not supposed to be doing selling on your personal page. Oh, yes, I'll put up pictures of something new, but I don't put any direct selling links, and I often, most of the time, don't say that I'm selling it. You know, so I can't come on and say, hey, everybody, I've got this, because then everybody in my feed could see it. Now, if I put it on my business page, or if I put it on the creative group, might not see it, or might not be interested, whatever, and we didn't get our collectors that way, so I can't sell enough of them for him to make them, because he has to make, depending on the item, he has to make between 25 and 50 pieces, so that's a pretty big commitment for me. But anyway, while it was working good, it was really working. So this was one of them, and this piece, we were reminded of it because Ingrid has a fantastic collection. Really drool-worthy stuff, let me tell you what. So this is one of those reprise pieces. And another reprise piece, and I'm going to put it in the book because Ingrid also sent me this one, which was also in her collection, and she so kindly gave it to me. And this is another old one from, it's got the barrel clasp on it, so it's going back there. They started using the lobsters in 1991. So if you get a barrel clasp like this one, it's before 1991. They did these from the beginning. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to probably have some magnifying glasses pretty soon on the site because those and the whistles do okay for me over there. And it's getting to be about that time where people are buying gifts. And nothing makes a better gift than 1928 jewelry, let me tell you. But the regular pieces just don't do so sweet over there for me. So after all, it's like putting jewelry in a hardware store. These boutiques, we sell parts. Anyway, this guy's kind of famous. They just started making him again. He was like out of production for a long time. And I bought this one at Etsy. This is an older one. And it looks like they made it yesterday, of course. But they were having them on Etsy for as much as $125 for this piece, which is based on an old Jelly Belly, which is, and it's kind of ridiculous. You can buy them new now. They have them on the website. Or I can get you one. Discount. The next time I buy jewelry. Anyway, so that's a neat one that goes way, way back. It's the cat with the fish in the bowl. And then another one we did that was so fun was this one. And a bunch of you got this one too. It was the time I took Jordan with me over there, and Mel brought this piece out. And I said, can we still make that? And he says, I think so. He said, I'll tell you what, if you can go out in the factory and find me the decal that goes on it, which is this. There's a decal under resin. I'll make them for you. And he thought I'd never find it, but I did. I walked right to it because I knew where it was. I just happened to. But anyway, so he made this for us again, and he made it complete with the barrel clasp, so you can't tell it from the old ones. It's a perfume dauber, and the top opens, and you can, there's a little vial in there that you can put it on yourself. I have another beautiful one which Suzanne Valeriano gave me, and I should have brought it out here to show you, but this one at least helped me remember it so I can go get it for the book, because it's awesome too. But you can't get this one anymore. We sold out on them, and he's not making any more, unless I would order 50, and I can't speak for that many. So anyway, so for those of you who got it, you got something very, very special, because when he made it the first time, he didn't make that many. I probably sold more of them than he did. So this will be in the book for sure. Now let's talk about something that's really, really interesting. Okay, this piece, let me move these out of the way so you can see better. Just try not to tangle them up. This piece and this piece. There's a little skinny bangle that goes with this too. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see who else is here. Claire, you don't have a cat in a fishbowl? Jeez Louise, maybe I need to get some more of those and put them on the side. I don't know. But anyway, he has them if you want to get one. Yeah, Gloria has a cat. Lynn Reed says she could do with that magnifying glass. Yeah, it's really nice. I have a lot of their magnifying glasses. I didn't bring that many out here. But that one is really, really spiffy. I like that. Yeah, the magnifying glass is made like Ingrid's. I have to sell 50 to get them, so I don't think we'll have those anymore. And he doesn't want to put it back in his line, which is so like, what? You know, everybody bought these. They want them, but no. He doesn't want to do it. So, I mean, that's why I did the reprises, to show him how many pieces he had from the past that would still sell. But so you don't want to do it. So, okay for you. Anyway, I want to tell you about this one, these ones. And you can see this has got the original wholesale price on it. It was, they sold them to the stores by dozens, so they had to spend $88.80, and they had to buy a dozen of this bangle to get it. And I think he said they had to put a $5,000 order in too to buy. When they were in their heyday, you couldn't buy from them unless you had a $5,000 order. But that's not the case anymore at all. Anyway, but this, what's so special about this and the bangle, which the bangle's here too. How much did they want for this one? It was $245 each wholesale. Retail was $550. They sold them for $29.40 a dozen to the stores. And the plating on this is just intricate, and so is the patterning. Now this would have been made, just to tell you a little something about this would have been made from what they call gallery wire. Anybody know what gallery wire is? Some of you might have bought a little bit from me because I brought some back from over at the factory. It's just really hard to cut because it comes on a big spool. And you have to be very careful when it comes off the spool that you don't get cut. But they would just take a piece of gallery wire and then they would solder it. And I'm trying to see if I can find the solder mark here. Yeah, it would be right here. You can just hardly even see it because they plated over it. There's a little line. They did everything so immaculately. So, you know, unless you're looking for it, you don't even know what that is. So he made this one. And it was in the same line with this one, and he just gave me these when I was over there. And I want to tell you how special these are. Also this one. Back in the mid-70s, you'll read this in the book, they were having a problem with their rep in New York, and they're a very, very young company. They were scared to death that they were going to lose the company if they didn't do something bold. So what they did is they went and got their own showroom on Fifth Avenue. And they had a huge party on top of the Rainbow Room in Rockefeller Center. And they invited everybody who was anybody. Even the editor of Vogue was invited to that. So back then, who would that have been? 70s. Probably Diana Vreeland. I'd have to look that up. But anyway, I don't know if she came, but she was invited. Anyway, they made such a splash at that party that got them the shot that they needed to take off, and they were able to pull out of the showroom where the guy was really giving them a bad time and not doing a good job for them. But what they did at that show is they introduced these finishes, and nobody had ever done finishes like this before. The man who set up the plating department at 1928 was a mechanical genius. His name's Alan Olick. And he taught himself how to plate, but he's just a genius. And he figured out a way to do two-tone plating, because that's what's on here. There's a kind of a rose gold, dark rose gold with a platinum, dark platinum silver next to it. And these pieces are from 1975. Of course, they've never been worn, except by me. And I can't bear to take the tags off, so I don't think I'll be going anywhere with them on. But anyway, these are really, really special. And then a little bit later, they did this one. Now this is a little bit later, but this shows you the two-tone plating. He says they can't do that anymore because they don't do plating at 28 anymore. They had to quit a couple years ago. And no plater in Los Angeles seems to understand how to do this right. That's what he says. So they don't have it anymore. But this one is later because it has a lobster clasp. And I had a few of these to sell, but they're so cool. You swing it, and then there's a compact mirror under it. So, and we got the last of them. He told me there weren't any more. Now, I don't know, maybe he found some someplace, but at the time, he truly thought there were no more. So this is really a part of 1928 history right here. And who knows this story? You know, you guys do now. But most of the time, you just pick something like this up in a flea market and think, oh, you know, cool. No big deal. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is rare. And the only way you're going to find one now is if you find it in a flea market. And the two-tone finish was historic at the time. It really was. See what everybody's saying. Hey, there's Kelly. Susie B, gallery wire, pretty patterns. Yep. Michelle Flores, great for wrapping stones and cabs. Depends. This type of gallery wire wouldn't be, but it'd be good for making bezels, soldered bezels. You could do that. Noi, how are you doing? You could sell a lot of magnifying glasses with our older eyes. I have sold a lot of magnifying glasses. He keeps telling me you need to bring finished jewelry back onto your site, but I don't know. Probably for holiday time I will. But it'll be theirs. It won't be mine. He wants me to design again. He says, you're a designer. You need to be a designer. You need to be making jewelry. But right now I said, Mr. Bernie, I'm doing your book, and that's all I can do. But anyway. So this is historic, this stuff here. And you got to see it. Yeah. Minnie Pearl was famous for her tag. Yeah, maybe I could get away with it, huh? Hi, Carol H. from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Thank you for joining us. So let's see, what can I show you next? I have so many here to show you. Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. A lot of you, a year or so ago, bought these from me on Facebook. These little pearls, not pearls, these little pill bottles that open and shut the top. Okay. I told you before that a lot of this stuff was made from original pieces that they found. That their head designer, David Alverson, used to go to Europe all the time, and he'd go to the French flea markets looking for pieces that they could cast and make into stuff. So this piece is from an old chatelaine, and you know what? I found online a picture of a chatelaine that had a piece made just like this, but I can do you one better than that. This is the original piece from which this was cast. It's from, he says it's from 1890. That's the note that's with it. I disagree. I think it's much earlier than that. But it could be. You know, why argue about it? I think it's much earlier than that. But anyway, this is the original, and it's sterling. Isn't that cool? This is the original one that they did this one from, and it's virtually the same size. Only it doesn't have the little hangers on the sides. So that's kind of exciting to own one that was made for me from the old mold, but to find the actual piece that they cast it from. This is a little story right here. And this will definitely be in the book. And this belongs to me. So that's even cooler. I get to own it. That's even cooler. So, and if anybody didn't get one of those pill bottles back when I was selling them, when I went out to look for one, I found I had a couple silver ones left and I think 3 gold ones. So if anybody wants one, they can let me know. I think we sold them for like 40 bucks. But I could make you a deal. So if, I don't know, $30 maybe, take 10 bucks off. You can let me know if you want one, okay? You can message me if you want one, because I still have them. I sold almost 100 of them. No kidding. He was like blown away. He says, I can't believe you sold that many of them. We never sold that many. I said, that's why you need to put it back in your line. But he never did. So, oh well. Oh well. So I think Barbara was there when we talked about this, because I got this is the black box. All you're going to see is just a chipped up black blob here, but this is a black box, and it's full of stuff that has dates on it and stuff. And there are a lot of like historic type pieces in here from 1928 that they saved, but it seems that Mel doesn't care that much about them anymore, so I brought them home with me to make sure that I had them for the book, and then after that, I think he's going to ask me if I want to sell them off. So we'll see. But I already bought the perfume bottle, so. Anyway, so we got that one. Let's see if anybody's asking questions. Karen finds it interesting. I'm glad you do. I do too. Yeah, the amazing white envelope. They look so unassuming. Yes, Barbara knows all about them. She knows all about them. I still have that fork in there, Barbara. Just letting you know. She likes something in there. Now, what else? Oh, here's something else that came from the black box. Where's the original now? What did I do with it? No, this is the original. Okay, this is the Marie Antoinette locket from 1928. They don't always have it. I don't know if they have it now. It's part of Antiquities Couture. And it's kind of cool because it opens this way. And it doesn't have the 1928 markings inside. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. Maybe they couldn't. But anyway, this one's from like 1991. 92. Early days for, because when they started using lobster claw clasp and when they started making antiquities couture, it was virtually the same time. But anyway, this was designed from this. It's got a tiny little sapphire, it looks like, in here. And then, I forget how you open, I think it's on the end. I'm trying to look for the, I know, I've had this open a bunch of times. Oh, there we go, you have to push on it. And there it is inside. And it says that it is 14 karat, so this is gold. I haven't purchased this yet. I might. I probably will because then I'll have it to go with it. But it's definitely going to be in the book. So I have to take care of this because I didn't buy it yet. But I love that. That was just, oh, gives me the heebie-jeebies. I love it so much. Anyway, but it goes with this. And if anybody's interested in having one of these Marie Antoinettes, they're on like a 30-inch chain. I can check and see if he still has them. They were, I think, 85, but I can get them for you a little bit better than that, if he has any, okay? If you're interested. If not, it's just fun to know about it. So let me put this, what should I do with it? I don't want to lose it. I'll set it right here, off out of the way, so it would be okay. And then I have this off to the side here. That belongs to me. Okay, let's go. Let's go. All right, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Probably you guys have seen these because they sold a ton of them. This, in fact, I think I even had these for a little while on Rob Pewter on the site. But what it is, it's like a little picnic basket that opens up and it's a locket inside. And this one is an old one. It's from the 70s because it's got this infernal herringbone chain, which I hate. But they used it a lot back in the 70s. And the tag is, it's an older 1928 impression on it. You kind of have to get used to it to see it. The newer pieces look a little different. This looks more old or something. But anyway, there's a big story behind this. There was a lady by the name of Margaret Sarah, who was a head buyer for Belk's. If you know Belk's department stores, back in the 70s. And she loved Mel and Richard. Every time they were in town, New York, for their little showroom, which is a postage stamp of a place at the time, she would always go out to dinner with them. And she had a collection of exquisite vintage and karat gold pieces. And so she had the original piece of this. Now they say that it goes back to the Victorian times, but I don't know. My gut tells me the style is a little newer than that, but Margaret had it, and it was old, and she let them take her beautiful necklace back to the factory and cast this and make it. And this piece was a bestseller for 1928 for decades. I even have magazine advertising for it in my big stack of papers over here. So this was a famous piece. They made a lot of them. I think he started making them again for a little bit, but I don't know if he has them now. I can check on that. But I can get the locket too. Of course, it's, you know, costs a little bit more, but it's not that bad as I recall. But he will make me these lockets if I want them. But of course, Mel's rule is got to get 50. But I probably could sell 50 of those. But to plate them, he'd have to get them plated because my plater cannot plate something with a hinge without breaking it up. So that's the story behind that. Margaret Sarah's picnic basket purse. Cool, isn't it? Yeah, Claire says she wants one. Okay. Ronaldo, you're never late. You're never late. You're here in time. Why did they stop selling them? Well, they moved on to other things, Susie. You know, you can't make, when you are a design house, or even just for us as designers at home, You can't make the same thing over and over. Most of us would never dream of it because we like our one-of-a-kinds. When I have the build-a-line class, I always tell them, you know, make a few multiples, because if it's sold once, it's good enough to sell again. But people struggle with that because artists want to do one and done and move on. But, you know, they made hundreds of them, and probably what happened is sales fell off. And they just said, well, let's move on to something else that's exciting. Believe me, they have so many unbelievable molds. Most of you have seen the videos that I did on Facebook showing the castings archives, and you know what? Together we didn't nearly get through a fraction of them. There's so many. But I can still get this one. But I'm not sure if he makes it. He might make it. Now, this is a really interesting one. I can't wait to tell you about this. Now, this is newer. It's got the barrel clasp, and it's got the tag. And let's see how he made the tag. Yeah, that's an older style tag. But he made this back in their early days when they first started to cast, late 70s. And when you spin it, there's a few of you out there that got these. I didn't have that many made. It's back when he didn't make me buy as many of them. But I understand why he does, because it's hard to set up the molds in it. But if you spin it, it says, I love you. It's in the track in the middle. It's kind of hard to see it. It should have more antiquing on it. But anyway, he did these for me. They could not find it. Mel swore it was not their piece. I says, Mel, look at my picture. It's got your marks in it. Because you guys know about the marks on the back in 1928. This little feathery, flowery, viney things. That's how they signed their jewelry, with that mark in the mold. I says, it's yours. He's like, I can't believe it. He says, it must be a prototype piece. Well, who owned this? It was Ellen Goncher, if you know Ellen. She was bidding on an auction. It was this piece. And she wasn't sure what she should bid for, so she sent me a picture. She said, what do you think? And I says, you know, I think that's kind of rare. I says, let me talk to Mr. Bernie. So I did. It took them half a day to find the molds, because first you had to have this piece on top to make it spin. Then you had to have the bead, and then this little round piece that goes with it. But they found it. I guess it was, he just had to see if he could find it. He had his assistant Kathy out there looking. I think Pia was, there's a number of people were looking for it. They found it, and then he made me a short run of them. And so if you were one of the ones who got this, you probably got maybe the only ones that were ever made, or at least there weren't many. And who knows, maybe Ellen got the prototype piece. I don't know how it came to be in the auction. I don't know. Maybe he did make a few and sell them, but this is an extremely rare spinner piece, this one. And you know, look at that planing. It looks new. It looks like, you know, they got it yesterday, right? Speaking of which, I'm trying to find, I'm going to show you, if I didn't lose it in this mess here, I'm going to show you the first piece of 1928 jewelry I ever bought. There's this one, but it's not this one. So where did I put it? This, no, that's not it. It looks a little bit like the basket. I can't find it now. I will find, oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. This I bought in, I think it was 1980 or 1981. And this is the start of my collecting days. I always wanted their jewelry, but I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it. I couldn't buy department store jewelry back then. So anyway, I would go and I would drool over it. And you guys probably know the story, that the reason why, what started my whole big attachment to 1928 Jewelry Company is when I was going to marry my husband. I don't know if I brought that. I'll have to show you another time. When I was going to marry my husband in 1975, I needed 6 necklaces for 6 bridesmaids. And I found their ad in a book, in a magazine, and they had their address on the bottom, so I wrote to them and asked them if they could help me out. And they said they couldn't sell directly to me, but I could go to Halley Brothers in Cleveland. They'd send 6 over there, and I could buy them there. Well, Halley Brothers in Cleveland is downtown Cleveland. It's not even there anymore, but it was a big deal store back then. And it was pretty far, and Cleveland traffic is not exciting to be in. I just, you know what, I'm going to have to get something else. But I never forgot them. I kept that letter for a long time. I was looking through all kinds of old papers to see, did I maybe keep it? I wish I had. I kept it for a long time. But anyway, I can't find it. So at this point, I guess I have to say it's gone. But anyway, that's what started the whole thing. So I started to watch for them to come to our department stores. And they did. In a few years, they started showing up in our department stores with nice displays. And I would go and look at them every time. I would say, you know, sometime I'm going to buy some of this jewelry. In fact, someday I'm going to buy a lot of it. Guess I did. Anyway, this was the first piece I ever bought. And the plating is like yesterday. It's got that horrible herringbone chain, which I don't like, but looks like I lost a SIG tag on it, maybe. But this looks like I bought it yesterday. And here's what's interesting. Do you know we sell this charm holder on the website? We have quite a few of them in gold, I think, yet. Just go to the search box and punch in charm holder. And this will come up, and what you'll be getting is the genuine 1928 charm holder. And I'll show you. Here's one that I made from that charm holder that I got from Mel. It's the same thing. And then, come to find out, this one seems a little brighter. But then, you know why? It's because he made these for me, and until that time, he wasn't plating anymore, so someone else plated them. These are not old, they're made from the old mold. So, it's the same thing. And then Pia told me, oh yeah, I know that, I designed that. So back around 1980, I says, yep, that's when I bought it. So that's really cool when you know the person who, you know, came up with the idea. So anyway, they had a lot of charm holders. I loved charm holders. This is the one I put together. I wear it sometime. I think I wore this the first time I went to 1928, actually. But, yep, that's the first piece I ever bought. And now look at what happened. Got lots now. Okay, so what do I have here now? I can show you next. Oh, this is interesting. When I go over there by there, Mel gives me stuff sometimes. And one day he came out and he had this in his hand and he says, here, I want you to take this home and take care of it for me. And I'm like, well, what's this pocket watch? A little gold-filled pocket watch. I don't know if the back opens. Oh yeah, there's a hinge back there. Let's see if I can get it to open. It's an Elgin, which those are pretty good. I have an old Elgin that I bought, I don't know how long ago. And it says, has an inscription in this back part, so it makes me wonder if there's one in this. It said, to William, on Christmas Day, 1918. And it often makes me wonder what happened to William, because 1918 was the end of World War I. So, anyway, so I have William's watch. Who he was, I don't know in time, but I got Mel's watch too. Evidently, he told me, well, it's not his only one, he has a bunch of them, but he said his uncle, and I don't know if it was the uncle that got him started with the mod watches that was in the watch business, but he used to go to flea markets and collect stuff like this, and then he'd bring some of it and give it to Mel. I think he thought maybe he'd get ideas from it or something. But anyway, Mel had this in his desk drawer. He told me to take it home, take care of it for him, so I am. Okie dokie, let's see what you guys are saying. Allowed you to sign in. That's great, Beverly, you're here. Yeah, there's so many great stories. Save me some old 1928 jewelry. Well, no, I don't know if I can get you old anymore, but I can see if he's still making it and get it for you if you want. You know, the old stuff, you have to go to flea markets to see if you can find it. And some of you have been very successful. I'll tell you what, Ingrid has. I mean, I think I have a pretty decent collection, but Ingrid has an awesome collection. Of course, she doesn't have the prototype pieces, but she has plenty else, let me tell you. You know, she's really deep into antiques. She makes jewelry too, but she's been a collector of antiques for years. This piece I just got. Pia gave me this the last time I was there a few weeks ago as a gift. Now, it was probably Antiquities Couture, and it's got the lobster on it, so it wouldn't be an old piece, but they're certainly not making this anymore. And it's got the beautiful old wheel turn type enameling. Actually, this is called guilloche. A lot of people think guilloche enameling means the little rose that's painted in there. No, it means the patterning that's on the blank underneath that they enamel over. And then it's translucent, so it lets the pattern come through. Wheel turn pattern. And this is just a decal. But then they do a beautiful job. All of their enameling is epoxy resin, and it holds up. It's beautiful stuff. So anyway, it's got the little thing on the bottom. You open it up, and there's a watch inside, and it does work. It's just not set right now because it's the old kind, you know. You have to wind it. But she gave this to me, and it's really, really precious. I wasn't there a half an hour. She came running back. She said, "I've been saving this for you. I want you to have it." She's so precious. Pia's been there since she was we first came to the United States. She was like hardly out of her teenage years when she first came. She's been with Mel ever since. This piece is interesting. This was a gift from Mr. Burney. And it's called a vinaigrette. And I think they still make this. This is from Antiquities Couture. But you see it has a two-tone plating in it. They would not be making it probably this way anymore because they can't do two-tone plating anymore, but they might still have some in stock because it was kind of an expensive piece. But they call it a vinaigrette because you open it. Oh man, why is this so hard for me? Here we go. Okay. And it was copied from something that David Alverson found at French Flea Market years and years ago. But a vinaigrette is when the Victorian ladies, you know, they used to pass out all the time because they put their waists so tight. So they would put little cotton balls or pieces of fabric doused in vinegar in a locket like this. So if they felt like they were going to faint, they would open up and take a whiff, and evidently it would bring them around. So that's why they called it a vinaigrette. So this was that type of a locket. It's really long, heavy too. I don't wear it very much because it's really kind of heavy for my neck, but I love it. Mel gave me this not too long after I took the line. I was trying to show them how to do video one day, and they gave it to me. they never did any new videos. Have you seen the eggs that 1928 makes? They're spectacular. And I didn't bring my other eggs out here with me. I've got some fantastic eggs. But when you look at them, they're just so amazing. This one was never finished. I probably found this one in the broken stuff, to be honest with you. But they would set this. I have had ones that have the little thing. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, it should have little pave stones in here, but look at all the enameling, how intricate that is. It's all done by hand. I've sat and watched the lady do it. And they mix the resin, the color, just perfectly. And they have stuff, I think it comes from a place called RBC, but you have to, oh, you couldn't see that. I was holding up to in the wrong place. Here, there you go. All right, now you can see it. Sorry about that. It comes from a place called RBC, I think, but you have to buy like big cans of it. So I never did get any of it, but that's what they use. And they cure it under light. So there's that. Let's see what else. I would love to find an egg. Well, Jan, honey, I think they still have eggs, but if you want an egg, I could probably get you an egg of some kind. Just have to ask Mel, can I get an egg from my friend? Probably I could. Let me see, okay? I'll see if I can. I have an egg. It's so cool. I think I've showed it online before, and I don't have it here with me, and Javi'd have a hard time finding it, so I'm not going to send her after it. But he made the same egg for Joan Rivers. So I have one signed Joan Rivers and one signed 1928. And it's really cool. It's got the enameling and everything, and then you open it up because it's like a locket. And inside there's a little frog. I don't understand what the frog is, but it was something that Joan Rivers had them make when she was alive and had her eggs line, which was a very famous line for her. And so I have those 2 pieces, and that's really cool. They were prototype pieces too, as far as I know they were. Anyway, this is one of my favorite all-time pieces from 1928 Jewelry Company. It's one of the first ones I bought when I first started working with them. It's an expensive piece. I think it costs $125, and it is on their website. It's Antiquities Couture. If anybody wanted one, they could let me know. I could probably get it better for them. But here's the thing about this. You could make this. You could absolutely make this necklace with Bisuba 1928 parts. Now, their gold plate is a little more mellow than ours. But you know how to, you know, you can take a little black paint and then mellow it out a little bit. They don't have this chain anymore, this paper clip type chain, but you could find something that'll work and it'll look handy dandy just like that. We have this hand in gold. We have this spinner assembly in gold. You guys know this part. The only thing I don't have, well, I don't know, I might be out of them. I did have this cameo, but it was a bigger size. And then that's a glass cameo. That's probably check. And then this is just an acrylic stone. But you need 18 by 13 stones to put in there. So you get your own cameos, or I could get some. I don't know if Mel has these ones, but anyway, but you know, you can make your own piece just like this. So I costed it out one time. If you made it just exactly like this, if you could even get the parts, it will cost you, I think it was $30, $35 to make at retail on the Bisou parts. And then, I don't know, not a lot of time, probably under an hour you'd have it made, as opposed to $125. Of course, this is the 1928 one, and I don't know if it's got the thing on it. No, it fell off. I'll have to put one on. I do have some of the tags, but I never put them on anything unless it's a broken piece and it needs to be repaired, or the tag's fallen off. And the story on that is that we talked about my designing jewelry for them, but selling it on my own channel. And I still might do that one day, but every piece I do, if I do that, has to meet, you know, his criteria. And you know, it's kind of hard for me to do it. Some of you guys are better at it than I am. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but I want to see who's talking. Little tiger eye. Yeah, it does, Claire. It does. I'll do that, Jan. Let's see. Karen Mansell's here. Nancy Ayers. Hey, I'm glad you came. And Renee, your necklace is on the way, Nancy. I don't know if you got it yet, but you'll have it soon. Renee Cochran. The design, yeah, it's just gorgeous. And the plating was so gorgeous.
Can you get a spinner parts so we can make one?
Yeah, we carry them. We carry them. You want to go find them, Javi?
Which one?
You know, it's this one. You know what? I might have them here in gingerbread, which we don't carry anymore, but just to show you what they look like if they're not. Yeah, here's one. There's one. Looks like that. I don't have a hand here. Oh, yes, I do online. Oh, yes, I do online. There you go. Now, this is gingerbread, which, of course, we don't carry anymore. We have the weathered copper now. But, yeah, you can buy this part. Same thing. Same thing. I think I have some gold ones left, too, in our classic. No, it's the 22 karat. Not the classic gold. It's the finish I have on the pewter, which is shinier. But, yeah, we have that part, and we have the hand. This is when I just put, I don't know if I'm going to leave it like that, but I thought it was fun when I was doing all that Carnivale stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, we have them. You can make them. You can make them. They're on there. Just go to Bisou by 1928 and then scroll through and see what you can find. And, you know, you guys have your codes now. You have permanent codes now, so you don't have to remember anything, which is cool. Or if you have coupons, you can use them too. That's good. But anyway, you can make this easily. And I asked Mel how he felt about that. He says, you should make kits and sell them. I'm like, what? This is your design. He says, I don't care. He's, I'm beyond caring. He says, if you could sell kits and if your friends would like to have them, then hey. Or if you want to buy the parts and put their own together, they can. Have at it. But this is like one of the first pieces I bought. I absolutely love it. I still love it. It's a fantastic layering piece. In fact, I will layer it with this. Talk about a heavy neck then when I'm done. But I will layer it with this. In fact, I did a video when I was over there on layering with these pieces. One time. We never did anything with it. But anyway, it's a good layering piece. Let me push this up a little bit. You can see it. I'm so happy to have it. I just love the history that drips off these pieces. Now I'll show you something you'll never find. Well, probably never. I just found out not long ago. She just bought it in silver.
Yeah, you had it in gold, but silver now.
Yeah, I might be out of them in silver. I ordered more. I just put in a big castings order. My mom loved 1928 jewelry. I was lucky enough to work in a boutique that sold 1928 jewelry. This is where I developed my love for jewelry making. If any pieces broke, I fixed them. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Lori. My love for jewelry came from this company, too. I love this company so much. I tell Mel when I leave, he always says to me, he says, did you leave anything in there on my last day I'm there? And I said, yes, I left a piece of my heart. And when you find it, don't step on it and don't ever send it home. I'm sentimental, but I love that place. It's like Disney World or something to me. I don't know. Anyway, it's great. But anyway, this is really cool little trinket. It doesn't look like much. You'd probably say, oh, I don't know if I even like that. It's a ring. Put it on. Mel gave me this. He came out with a little basket of them when we were having a little party over there, and he gave them to everybody. But the story is, this is sterling, and he owned a little factory in South Africa at one time. Believe it, he had one in Mexico too. And they were going to go into manufacturing over there, but it was just too difficult to do it that remotely, and he couldn't go over there all the time. So, but they were doing sterling and gemstones in the one in South Africa, and this is from there. So talk about rare, huh? Yeah. Love the locket on the heavy chain. Yeah, me too. I love it too. I love it too. Yes, do kits. Well, I have to see if I can get these cameos. But yeah, I could put a kit together for you. But here's the thing. If I put a kit together for you, it's going to cost more because I got time into it. You know, we all forget to pay ourselves a lot of times, you know. So if I made a kit, you know, it'd probably be closer to $50. So, you know, now that you know what the parts are, you can go over there and get them yourself. Use your discount, and you won't have that much into it. And it's so easy. Any of you could make this. Most of the 1928 jewelry, where you get into the work is the skill of casting the pieces and also doing the enameling. But if you're not doing any of that, it's just what I call hooky doodle. You're just hooking it up, you know, which is not that difficult, but, you know, you can design your own. So that's what's so great about it. Let's see what else are people saying. Brenda, you're so great. Well, that's kind of you, know. I thank you. You're pretty great yourself. I am. I'm very fortunate to have these pieces. But you know what? I'm more fortunate. I'm more fortunate because I know their stories. And that was one of the first things that I told Mel. He wanted me to come over there in the worst way when I first knew him. And I wasn't hearing it. I'm like, I don't need to come over there. It's not my first rodeo. I've been to warehouses before. I don't need to come. And, well, there's Nancy. Hey, Nancy. I'm in love with the crystal silver piece. Could you show it? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you about this one next. Anyway, what was I saying? Anybody can remind me? I got distracted. Anyway, yeah, I just in love with everything over there. So maybe I'll remember in a couple of minutes what I was saying. But anyway, yeah, this is awesome. This piece is very rare. It's not as old, but it's a lorgnette. You guys know what a lorgnette is? I'll show you. Opera glasses. They used to make a lot of them. Opera glasses. Now, they're magnifying glasses, so yeah, they magnify really well. I don't know if they work for actually seeing something long distance, but it's really awesome. These black stones are marcasite, and this is just glass, but these are marcasite. And the chain is very long. It's like 38 inches long, so you can wrap it twice around your neck if you want it shorter, or you can wear it really, really long. I don't know if I'd wear it that long because it'd be easy to bang into stuff and scratch up the lens, but I had 10 of these. I think I sold them for around $100 a piece because they're so rare. I had them for half an hour. They were gone. So I was able to put them on my personal page and people saw them, so they came and they got them right away. But yeah, this is a very, very, if you were one of the people that, I think Ingrid got one. But if you were one of the people that got this piece, you have quite a treasure. Yeah, they just found it sitting on a shelf and said, call Brenda, see if she wants it. So I got it that way. I'm trying to think, oh, I hate it that I can't remember what I was talking about, but that's me. Okay, yeah, there's some cool stuff in here I want to show you yet. Oh, these are old. These are old. I'll show you this. Jan gave me this. Jan found this. My friend Jan. Jan tag is on there, and it's an older piece too. See, it's got the barrel. And this is the old tag. So this is an earlier piece. This is probably mid 70s. This is on lucite heart. Very cool. Thank you, Jan, for that. I always love it. I wear it sometimes too. This piece. Actually, it was Ingrid that emailed me and said, Brenda, I saw this piece on Etsy. You might want to run over and get it. So I saw it. It was a little more than I wanted to pay for it, to be honest with you, but it's the most awesome locket ever. Let's see if I can open it. Yeah, there you go. That's how it opens. It's like that, like little doors. We're not sure who made this locket. Maybe Eli Locket Company. I don't know. It was made in the United States. And some have said that Miriam Haskell used it in some of her jewelry, but then people said no, she didn't. But 1928 did. That's for sure. They did. But he said we didn't use it for very long because there was a problem. Like some people would open this too much and it would get sprung, and then they'd be upset and want to return it. So he said, you know, forget it. But this is really old, and I'll show you why. This doesn't have the swing tag. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can see. Because if you find pieces that look like this, these are some of the oldest. See the older looking writing and the barrel clasp? They all have a swing tag now, but before, I would say around 1973, 74, maybe a little earlier, they look like this. And you know, the company didn't start till Mel hit the streets in 1968 trying to sell mod watches. So things didn't really get cooking for about a year and a half after that. But by then they had their own factory and were making serious money. So you talk about it, lightning striking. It struck that guy. Anyway, so this one, this is something I bought from Mel. I think it was in the black box. And one of our pals got the original. But the original, I have to tell you, this is so interesting. The original had a little dent in it. So when they cast it, the little dent went into it. So it has this one, but this one's a cast piece, and it's a perfume vial. Very old. I'd say late 70s. Old for them. And it's got a little stopper in it on a chain. So nice. Nobody made stuff like this back then. Nobody was making stuff like this. That's why everybody got so intrigued. Because you couldn't, you know, it was made just like antique jewelry. And you couldn't always find these pieces. So it was, you know, a nice thing to get one. And then let's see what I got here. I think Ingrid gave me this too, bless her heart. It was so nice to me. You can't make this anymore either because the company that made this crazy locket doesn't make them anymore. In fact, they're out of business completely. But if I can get it open, it has like a hinge on it. And it's kind of like you keep paper in it or, I don't know, something skinny. But they topped it with this old braid. They still have some of it back in the factory, I think. But I mean, I don't know. Would you make jewelry like this that had fabric on it? I mean, it's amazing. This piece is really old, and it's held up. I don't know. They did it quite a bit at one point. They put fabric like lace and braid and stuff, glued it onto the brass. It was flat enough. Yeah, they did. Business cards? Yeah, yeah, that would be good. Great, you got it there, Rosie Bunny. Yeah, business card case. Durr. See, that's why you guys are here to remind me. Yeah, business cards. Why not? Should work great for that. So I have that one, thanks to Ingrid. And then I have this piece, which I found in a flea market long ago. And look, it's got the old mark. Oh, I can't seem to get in so you can see it there. It's got the old mark, not the swing tag. So I don't know, this one throws me a little bit. Maybe they had some of these left and they were still putting on a few pieces, because usually the ones with this on it are, you know, like pre-75. But this couldn't be pre-75 because they weren't casting then. They didn't cast till the late 70s, and this is a cast locket. Isn't that cool? Mel loves to do this. He loves to take a locket and then take a casting and put it on top of it. Which this is a casting and this is just a brass locket. But see, what's cool about this too, this is the two-tone plating that I was telling you about. Let me lift it up here. This is a two-tone plating I was telling you about. This is very special stuff when you find the two-tone plating, and it's an older piece. I found this in a flea market for $3 a long time ago. So that's how that one came to me. Let's see our time. Oh, our time is going. I think my grandmother had that type of thing for dance cards. There you go, dance card case, yeah. Nancy says she wouldn't use the fabric. I don't know, I don't even like using ribbon. I mean, I like sari ribbon. You know, it's certainly got its place, but I don't even like a ribbon chain type thing. Although it looks very pretty, I just think it won't last, you know, so I get that. Oh, you're welcome, C. Lombard. I'm so glad you come. I really look forward to you coming every week. You come most of the time. We really, really appreciate it. So those are those pieces. So I'm going to put them back in here. And I'm not going to be able to show you everything. But the good news about that is that we can do this again sometime before too long. Because the book has been written. Finally, it's done. It's just in final edit right now.
It's done? Really?
Yeah, I've written all I'm going to write, except for the piece about the animal rescue.
Oh, okay.
So I just have to do the photo galleries now. So as for those who created things from BC 1928 that we're going to put in it, Mr. Burney has the last say. So I'm still waiting for that. And then I have to do the galleries with these pictures in them. Also, a lady who was with the company from the very beginning, Susan Rosen, she has the oldest pieces there are, I think. And we were wanting to get pictures of her collection. We did take pictures of them, but it didn't come out good. So we're going to see if little Christina over there at the factory can take pictures of Susan's stuff. Susan can bring them in for her so that we can show them to you in the book, because that'll be special. One last thing I wanted to show you, and then I'll show you the rest of this stuff next time, okay? Or another time. So I wanted to show you this piece. Some of you might have seen it. I know Jan has one of these. A few of you have one of these. Lauren found me this one. This is the original one I had. And she found it for me, I think at Poshmark. And I had never, ever seen it, but it's got the lobster claw, so that means it's made after 1991. So I showed it to Mel. And he said, yeah, that was Antiquities Couture. We really never made that many. And I thought this would be a good reprise piece. So you can see inside, it's a locket. and it's very secure. It's like a mandolin, maybe. It's interesting because you know how a mandolin has the oh, I forgot the name. This is the fretboard, but this part up here where the tuner would be, little knobs for tuning. Usually that's bent back a little bit, and it's true to that. It's bent back a little bit. It's gorgeous. It's set all over with sparkling stones, and it's about 30 inches. Anyway, I have some of these left. They were originally $80, I think. I think we have one on Amazon. We're really not doing much on Amazon, so it's sitting there. But I think we had 90 on it, because for there you have to go up sometimes. But anyway, yeah, I think we had 80. If you would like to have one of these, I have quite a few, as a matter of fact. If they make a fantastic gift. So if you'd like to have one, I will sell you one for $58, which is not chump change. It's not cheap, I know, but I got to get my money back out of them. So, and this one was expensive. So if you want one, contact me, and I'll be happy to get you one. Yeah, these are pretty, yeah. Well, you know what, Debbie and Mary, I would love to sell you one. I have plans. See, I've got one here, sitting here. It's wrapped up and ready to go. I have a bunch of them like this. So if you want one, you can just contact me at Facebook. You guys both know how to do that. So it'll be $61 total. And it'll come like this. So if you want one, or two, or three, whatever, they make a great gift. So did we go offline?
No, we're still on.
Okay, yeah, she just went black over here. So anyway, it's going to be about that time. So, yeah, it just went dark. It says we're still on?
Yeah.
Are we still on? Can somebody see? Yeah, there we go. She says she has a black screen. Yeah,
yeah, so do I.
It must be YouTube stuff. Well, if you can hear me. Anyway, it was so nice of you to be here. We love you all. And yeah, we're dark. Yeah, I think it's YouTube's done. At least we got on. Oh, you can still hear me. Okay. Well, I'll just wrap it up then. Thank you all for coming. You're wonderful. I hope you enjoyed our visit today. I love talking about this. This is one of my favorite things in the world. And it's so nice because I know the stories that go with it. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So anyway, we love you. And well, thank you very much. Now, next week, I'll have to let you know if we can meet, because Javi is going on vacation. So she will not be here next Sunday. But I think Diane's going to be able to do this. So we'll have Diane with us. So yeah. So anyway. So, okay, Vicki, thank you for coming. Thanks, Nancy, for coming. Karen, all of you dear ones. I'm sorry it went out, but at least it's not us. If that means anything. Okay, we got to go. Take care. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it must be YouTube.